Okay, welcome everybody. It's Lance Luke Martin Pia here. Ask the marketing experts. It's been a while. The reason being is I was actually out of town for about 3 weeks, I think, cruising Europe and having a good time, eating a lot on the cruise ship. You know, when it's all you can eat, there's a human nature. You just want to eat whatever. Martin knows that. Um,
You,
okay, so we have a pretty interesting topic. It's actually publishing books, but using AI to do that. So our topic today is AI publishing. Tell your story in a book. Not everybody's going to write a book, but I think small business owners should really consider that. It's not as hard as you may think, because prior to AI, you have to really do a lot of research and write everything from scratch. But now, using AI, it's a lot easier. So this webinar is presented by Expert Media Matters, which is a digital marketing company and a business consulting company. We specialize in a lot of social media marketing for mainly small business owners and also consultation. And there's a photo of me and that guy, Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul, author. I'm going to be meeting up with him in September in Hollywood. We actually collaborated on a book that's coming out with maybe 25 other business owners who are writing chapters in a compilation book. Uh, so that's coming out soon. And why do we do this webinar series, especially for free? Well, we want to do it to help small business owners, entrepreneurs build, manage, market online, and maintain and have their small business be successful. That's the reason why. So let's get right into it about telling your story in a book, and I'll tell you my story and how we do things. The power of AI in streamlining publishing, or the power of AI or using AI in publishing. And there's AI being used for different things such as social media posts, blog posts, websites, newsletters, emails, texts, things like that. But today's topic, we're really drilling in on the publishing of the book aspect. So, very simplistic terms, we're going to be discussing content creation. Instead of in the old days sitting down and having to think of what ideas or what words you're going to say or uh, create sentences or paragraphs, you can use AI to basically automate the content creation, regardless of whether it's a chapter in a book or a blog post or a social media post. Also, you can use AI for creation of who your target market is, who you're going to appeal to, data-driven market insights. You want to gather as much information as you can, because when you post to social media and it's a paid or a paid ad, you want to make sure that you're going to reach the right audience and not spending your dollars reaching people who are not even remotely interested in what your product or service is. The other thing is you can use AI for personalized recommendations. Let's take, for instance, you type in a question such as, or you make a statement such as, I have a restaurant. Who would be my best customers? Or where are they located? What is the demographics of these people? And using that data, you're going to create uh, kind of like a specialized marketing program specific for your target audience group. And that's the idea. That way you're not spending dollars that are just going nowhere. How about editing? See, once you create your manuscript, you're going to want to have somebody doing the editing. And if you have a live person, that's fine. If you don't, um, you can use AI for editing and proofreading. Also, you can use AI to figure out um, what the pricing structure is if you're planning on selling your book. I have books that are on Amazon for sale, but I also give away books. So I still, the books that I give away, I still want to know what the value is on the open market. So I go to Amazon and I look for myself, and then I also do an AI search for, you know, this topic, this specific topic. What is the range of uh, retail book prices, in this category based on a paperback, based on the number of pages, based on this, that, whatever criteria. And then also you could use AI for enhanced reader engagement. What is the demographics for this certain title? How many people are going to be interested in this title or even interested in buying a book? Like, let's say before I even write a book, I come up with a topic, and then I can use AI to tell me if there's a market for this kind of book or not, right? It's kind of a given if you're doing like a mystery novel or romance novel or something like that. There's a market for that, but uh, some of my books that I write is specialized in the construction and building industry. So is there a market for that? And if there isn't, why would I even spend my time writing a book? Well, if my intention is to just get the information out without worrying about making any money, then I don't need to go that route, right? But if I'm interested in writing the book to make money, to make sales, I'm not going to write a book where only 10 people are going to buy it, right? I want to make my money back, actually. So you can use AI for different studies and come to your own conclusion. The other thing you could use AI for is content recommendation. If you don't have any idea, the AI could actually help you come up with ideas for subject matter for your books, or even go deeper than that, a title. You could use AI for a title, for a subtitle. You can use AI to come up with different variations of how your book cover is going to look. And then, as I mentioned before, predictive and analytics for sales. Is there a market? Who's going to be buying your book? Are you going to be writing it and it's just going to be sitting there? And it doesn't matter what type, cookbooks, health related or specific technical books, those kind of things. Okay, so it's all out there. You just got to get the information. So you could use AI, ChatGPT, for key concepts and tools, automated content generation. And basically, I'm aware of people that just use AI and write the entire book. They write every chapter and they actually sell it on Amazon. There's a lot of books that are written by AI that are available for sale on Amazon. And I'm not saying if they're good or bad or mediocre, um, but I'll give you more ideas as we progress through this webinar. So ChatGPT, collaborative storytelling. You can use the AI to generate chapters of your book, or if you write things yourself and you just want one chapter written by AI, that's fine. Or if you write the whole book on your own and you want AI just to review it and give you comments on it, you could do that too. There's also AI generated books on Amazon Kindle. And since AI came out, there's been thousands of books that are 100% written by AI. And some of them sell, some of them don't. But you may not want to do that. You may be interested in using AI just to help with editing or coming up with some information in your chapter. Language processing, natural language processing, use AI for that. Also, there's some software like Vimeo, auto-generated subtitles to the text. What it does is it takes the information, reviews it, and comes up with a subtitle. So you can go back and forth with that. And I've used that myself. And lately, I've had two of my books were just in the beta testing stage now, where we're doing a conversion from English to Japanese, Chinese, and Filipino, just to test out how it works. And the only way for me to really test it is I have to have the translation done in a different language from English, let's say Japanese, and then I want to find a human to review the book and read it in the Japanese version, Chinese version, Filipino version, and make sure that they give me comments back like, okay, it's pretty much there, or wow, there's too many mistakes, they got the words wrong, and this and that. So I'm still testing that out right now. The reason why I'm doing that is because some of my books have been bought through Amazon, the US Amazon, and the buyers from Japan. So I thought, well, maybe there's a market for that type of book. And if I translate it into Japanese, maybe I'll be able to sell more books. So we'll see how that goes. Of course, I think the people that bought the books from Japan using the US Amazon website can already read English. So that's my thinking. Content editing and proofreading. I use Quillbot and Grammarly. So there's other AI generated websites that could actually review content, editing, and so forth. And then for book design, like design cover, I'm using Designer and Canva. And it's really changed because in the past, we were actually going out and hiring people, humans, to help design things for us. And some of them were designing from scratch, and others were using designer software for designing book covers. So I figured, well, why hire a human to use the software when I can just buy the software myself and have my team use it? So we're just trying to cut corners to save money to get the desired end result. Machine learning in book recommendations, AI enhanced book recommendations on Kindle. Sometimes if you just go on Amazon and type in a subject matter, you can see how many books were written about that subject. And a lot of times I may get excited going, oh, I'm going to write a book about this topic. I think it's a good topic. And I go on Amazon and I type in the subject matter, and all of a sudden I see 50 other books written about the same subject. And then I may get discouraged and go, I don't think I'm going to do that, right? Also, the pricing, as I mentioned before, there's algorithms, automated distribution systems. You can go on Amazon, and Amazon will actually help set the price for you. Or you can see, what is my results if I sold my book for $50, right? And it's not going to look good. But if you make it under 20, 19.95, you would get a wider audience. If you make it 14.95, you get more of an audience. So you can play around with that. I've had a survey that I did, and I just for fun, I made the price of my book $4.95, and said, "Well, you could sell this many books at that price." Okay, well, and then you have the option of uh, offering a physical book, a hard copy, or a copy, soft cover, or if you do an ebook, it's even cheaper, right? And the thing about the ebooks is the customer goes online, you know, puts their credit card and use PayPal or whatever method, and it's basically an instant download. So it's really fast, and you can make $3 a book or something like that. Not as much as you can make selling a physical copy, but uh, it may be faster, and you get paid faster. And of course, you got to sell more ebooks, but in some cases, it may be easier to sell an ebook than a physical copy of a book. Some more information, content personalization. You could basically keep doing more requests and your target audience and who they are, and really, reach direct to them, especially when you're talking about uh, who you want to appeal to, who your readers are. And then there's your blockchain for copyright and royalties. I mean, um, I use exclusively Amazon, KDP for book publishing. Okay, and when I go through Amazon, this automatically, once you download or upload your book, it automatically assigns, it's automatically copyrighted, and they have a whole unique system that they use to, when people buy a book, it's already copyrighted and has the registered code, and then I get paid my royalty fee when a book's sold, and it comes directly from Amazon. Okay, so I don't worry about all the technicalities and all that. I let Amazon handle that. As I mentioned before, your book cover, you can use your computer. If you're a good artist yourself, or you know somebody who's a good graphic artist or good photographer, you could use them to help you. But basically, all my books are basic AI generated using some templates that I have. And either we use images that we get online, or I have my own photos that I take, and I plug the photos in if it's applicable to whatever book title. And then there's Adobe AI powered editing tools. That's another, and there's many. I'm just giving you a brief rundown. There's so many others out there on the open market. We also use Canva to generate our book covers. And so there's other software out there, but when we did the research at the time, my assistants found and just told me these are the ones they want to use. And I said, okay, fine, let's just buy the software and start using it. So some real world examples of successful AI assisted books. So Martin and I, we actually have two webinar series. One is Ask Building Expert, and the other is Ask Marketing Experts book series. And we have here's a little secret that I'm going to let you guys know. Okay, for the most part, the majority of the books that I have written The manuscript comes from, guess what? The manuscript comes from the text that's converted from a webinar. Okay, so for instance, for example, this webinar today, we're recording it, and we're gonna take the recording and we're gonna generate a transcript. So we're gonna have a written transcript of our entire webinar. And that transcript is going to be used as the first draft of the book of the same title. Okay, so the example of Get Known Now, which is a book about getting yourself known, branding, small business owner, things like that. That book and the other book, Rebuilding Your Home After Disaster, the text of the book, the basic text, and a good part of it is actually not AI generated, but myself talking at the webinar, presenting, and that text, the audio is translated into text, and that's the basis of the book. So that's my little secret. Now, the book Use AI, No Wondering Why, the majority of the book is written by AI. So what happens is AI writes the majority of the book. I go in and edit. So it's kind of opposite from my other books that I wrote where AI comes in after the fact and just cleans things up, like editing, grammar, and things like that. So these are, three of the books that have, I think two of them have been published already. The Get Known Now is in the process of being published. Some other real world examples. These are AI generated books on Amazon Kindle. I did not write any of these. These are just examples that I decided to present to you. As you can see, you got a cover that says this book is completely AI generated, written by ChatGPT. So you got people who just crank out all these books using AI, and I'm not sure if they're making money on it or not, but probably. So what you want to do is you want to make sure if you're going to be using AI to write your book, make sure that the Chat GPT or whatever AI program you use is telling the story, and it's not just cranking out data. People would rather read a story, a nice story, than data. And the difference in that is, if you go, in the old days, we had Encyclopedia Britannica, right? And we did a lot of research from there. So today, if you go on, do a Google and maybe Wikipedia, and Google has AI now, and you type in some words because you want information, it doesn't really tell a story. It just gives you data. Sometimes it might, but you may have to keep tweaking it so that it tells the story. And the biggie here is that you're using AI to actually write the book, but if somebody wrote the book and you gave it to a close friend or relative, say, hey, read the book, would they think you wrote it or somebody else did? So the idea is, if you don't want to be a ghostwriter or somebody using a pen name, and you want it to come from yourself, you have to really work on it to make sure that your voice is telling the story, and it's not a robot or AI telling the story. So it's a little tricky. You might have to train AI a lot in order to be able to do that. Fortunately for me, when I'm translating uh, my audio to text, I'm the one that's talking, so it's translating what I'm saying, what my voice is, my personality, and things like that. So it's not just a computer generated book. Let's talk about how to implement AI in your publishing strategy. Some practical tips and steps and tips. Assessment of your publishing needs. What you have to have an idea, your book title or what you want to say. Sometimes you may not even have a title. You just have an idea about a concept that you're going to write about. Then you want to select the right AI tools and platforms to use. Integrating AI in content creation. That's always important. Now, let me stop right here and let you know that you don't really need to know any of this stuff if you're not going to do it yourself. If you're going to hire somebody like a publishing company, it's good to know what the steps are, but you don't have to actually know specifically how any of these things work if you don't want to. Like Martin and I have our own publishing company, so if you didn't know any of this stuff, it didn't matter because we take your book manuscript and we help you get it published. So we do all of these things, not you. You're the one that would look at book cover samples, say, yeah, I like this one. No, I don't like this one. I don't like the book title or the subtitle. Can you give me some other ideas that I could choose from? We would do all that for you. Okay, let's talk about some more practical steps and tips. When you're into the distribution, you're going to use AI for pricing and distribution. We use Amazon, so we don't have to worry about that too much. How about using AI in marketing campaigns? Once you have your book written, what do? You got to get the word out, right? Social media. You're going to write social media posts. You're going to write blog, emails. If you have a website, you want to put it on your website, you can use AI to give you content for all of that. Personalized reader experience with AI. That's a whole new concept, basically, where you're going to use AI to get down and dirty and specifically to your target audience. I'll give you an example. I'm writing a book now. I play guitar. I'm a professional musician, and I'm writing a book on um, accompanying a vocalist with a guitar or some title similar to that. So my readership is going to be guitar players, right? For the most part. So um, I'm using AI to really personalize the book to the guitar player readership and not just musicians in general, right? So that's my first goal, right? I think maybe vocalists who sing with guitar players might be interested in the book too, and then maybe other instrumental players such as bass player, drummers, or keyboard players, they might be interested in some of the concepts. So I'm using AI to help for that. Um, Other things, training teams for AI adoption, testing and integrating, ensuring data security and privacy, that's all built in already. Monitoring and analyzing performance metrics. This happens once the book starts selling. You want to know how many people are buying the book. And one of my books, the last printout I got is we had sales in Japan that exceeded sales in the US. So uh, that's why the light bulb went out. The light bulb went off, and I said, well, let's look into this some more. Keep track of staying abreast of AI advancements. AI is every day there's something new going on. So I can hardly keep track of what's going on. So now we're basically wrapping up what our webinar was all about. AI publishing, tell your story in a book. Now, if you haven't considered writing a book, you might want to, because it's not that hard to do. And if you have a story to tell, that's good. If you don't have a story to tell, you actually do have a story to tell, but you just don't know it. Okay, so you can contact us and we can kind of talk story with you, so to speak, and point you in the right direction, give you some ideas and all that. So um, know your readers like a friend. When you're going to write a book, who's your target audience? I've written a bunch of books on construction and building related topics. And my readership is all those people who are involved in the construction and real estate industry, who are involved in buildings, who live in a building, who live in a condo, who pay maintenance fees. If you live in a house, you still can benefit, because I talk about roofing, siding, windows, that kind of thing. Grow your digital bookshelf. What does that mean? That means like you're going to write more books, and then you're going to actually buy more books too, and read. I read a lot of books. I don't only write books, but I want to keep abreast of what's going on. Most of them are business related. Unleash the power of visual appeal. Don't have only text. You want visual images in your books. Make it come alive. Create a buzz. You want to keep your book interesting. After the first chapter, if it's so boring, people don't want to read the rest, then that's not a good sign, right? Diversify your story selling toolkit. You want to make sure that every chapter is enticing, engaging. You want to engage in your readers. Engage, don't just publish. Don't just write a book just for the sake of writing a book and publish it. Right? You're not, unless you are writing a history book, right? There's only so many ways you can tweak things to make it exciting, right? Without trying to change the facts, right? And then rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat is basically after your first book, you're going to follow the same concept, same methodology, tweak things, what worked, what didn't work, and the things that didn't work, you don't want to repeat it, right? And basically, that's the gist of my presentation. Now, what you miss is basically, we've given a lot of webinars in the past about different social media marketing, websites, branding, things like that. It's all on our website. What's coming up? We have more information about AI, which is the big thing now, on creating newsletters, social media posts, all those kind of things. We'll actually get down and dirty. We're not going to give you information that we read in a textbook. We're giving you information basically on how we did it, what we did, what we do, and share ideas that you can kind of use. You can copy us. Here's our website, expertmediamatters.com. Our webinar website is askmarketingexperts.now.site. If you go to that, we have recorded videos on demand you can watch of all our previously webinars. We're uploading PowerPoints and handouts right now of all our past webinars that we've given. So feel free to go there. If you're located in Hawaii or do business in Hawaii, we're inviting you to join our Best Hawaii Business Directory. You can join now for free by going to besthawaiibusinessdirectory.com. And by the way, this is the biggest online directory in the state of Hawaii. We have about 140,000 listings. You can go and claim your listing. If you want to upgrade it, that costs a few bucks, but It's up to you. And then we have a Small Business Hawaii, which is a networking association of business owners. We formed this network, this group, to network, share ideas, and help promote businesses in Hawaii. So you can join now for free. And we're working on our first newsletter. I'm not sure when it's going to come out yet, but we're busy bees working on that. Use AI to your advantage. Well, you wonder why? Use AI, no wondering why. You can use AI for websites, lead generation, social media, posts, blog content, and much, much more. The much, much more is actually the books that I just got finished talking to you about. Okay, so we're at the end. You got questions, we got answers. Our names are listed here: Lance Luke, Martin Pea, phone number, and email. So right now, I'd like to open it up if anybody has any questions or comments. Supposedly, we're broadcasting this webinar, restreaming on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and I think that's it, right? Let me bring Martin back on and see if there's any comments or questions that came up. Now you can ask questions if you're on our Zoom platform by using the chat feature or Q&A, or if you're able to post on whatever social media platform you're on. If we don't get to see it right away, we'll be sure to respond to it after the webinar. And we respond to all our questions that come in, and we welcome comments. If you have any ideas for future webinars, just let us know and we'll be happy to consider that. We have webinars scheduled from now to the end of the year, but we'd be happy if there's some that come up and we need to stick it in somewhere. We check our schedule and, we may be able to fit it in. So I'd like to bring Martin back and see if there's any questions. So Martin, are you around?
Yes, Lance, I'm here.
Okay,
You are
good.
correct. We are streaming to LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And I'll give you I guess on Facebook, we had a question, comment, and on LinkedIn, you had a visit from one of your construction friends here, I think. So we're viewed on all those, and let me ask this or share this comment that came in on Facebook. It was I feel AI is not good because, like anything else, what if it malfunctions? AI is good but replaces live humans. It's the future, though. That was a comment from one of your followers on Facebook. So you have a comment to that, and I can share some of the other questions.
Yeah, sure. I agree. AI is not 100% foolproof. AI is not 100% accurate. I've caught AI giving false information and also refusing to answer the question. Okay, so given that information, I can safely say that you're not going to be writing or using AI to write a book, social media posts, or for anything, your homework or whatever. I don't know if there's any college students listening in, but you don't just use AI and then whatever information you get from AI, just automatically submit that to, whoever you got to submit to, right? You're going to want to review it. And if it's inaccurate information, you want to change that, right? If it's not speaking or talking in the way you normally talk and it's not your own voice, then don't use it. So I have to agree that sometimes it's scary, but the more you train AI, and remember, it's basically a computer that you're talking to, but if you train your computer, the software, and it gets trained better and better, it'll be able to give you more correct answers, right? So if you heard the term garbage in, garbage out, it's applicable to what we're talking about. And right now, I have a Lance AI, so to speak, and it's my own personal chat GPT that we're training now. And the good part about it is it doesn't need water, it doesn't ask for a raise or anything. And the more I train it, the more I feed it information and ask a question, and when it gives the answer, if it's wrong, then I have to correct it. So the more time you spend, the better able to get the response back that it's more factual and correct. So I fact check all my responses. So I have an ulterior motive. Okay, so what I really want to do is when I get the Lance AI completely trained for building and construction information, I want people to go and use the chat feature and ask a question, and the Lance AI would respond and give the correct answer, or hopefully as correct an answer as they could, right? So that'll save me time from people calling me and asking me the same question. Now, that's not to say that I don't want to talk to people. I do, but can you imagine um, somebody like me that has 50 websites out there with information, and how much email and chat and stuff, text, and I get, and I don't have time to respond to all of them. So that's how other businesses operate. Have you ever contacted any business and they force you to use the chat feature, and you're talking to a robot, it's AI, right? And sometimes even on the phone, uh, you can tell it's a computer. So anyway, back to the initial comment. Yes, I agree. Sometimes it's scary. It doesn't have to be scary. In the beginning, when Martin and I first used the AI, it was kind of terrible. I mean, it was good where it gives answers and it's like, oh, I got this answer in 30 seconds, right? But then when you read it, it's may not be as correct. So it's just the whole training process. It takes time, like anything, right? Like if you're going to um, be trained on something, like training for a marathon, you can't wake up one day and run a marathon. Every day you got to participate. You got to look at your diet. You got to look at what exercise you're doing. You got to go hit the road and, baby steps first. Run 5 miles, 2 miles, go on a treadmill, whatever, and get warmed up, and then slowly increase. And then all of a sudden, now you can run 50 miles, right? Something like that. So anyway, hopefully that answers your comments, and thank you for commenting. It is kind of scary if you first don't know about it, and then there's always good and bad. AI can be used for bad things too, but that's not what we use AI for. But it's just out there, right? So, all right. So, Martin,
Yes,
was
yes.
that a good response?
I think that's a good response, and I'm just going to comment. Right on the screen right now, you have you got questions, we got answers, and that's something you like. Well, I think, like you say, looking to the benefits of AI, for you, you can now say you've got questions, Lance AI answers, and then you can take more travel and enjoy more time with Darlene traveling and doing other things, so that Lance AI will take care of any of the questions. So that's one of the definite benefits of the AI.
Well, I was thinking about changing the screen to say you got questions, AI got answers, but I figured, nah, I don't want to do that. But I had so much fun. I was gone for 3 weeks on a cruise, stayed some time in London, and actually stayed a bit after the cruise in Barcelona. So I was gone for about 3 weeks. So after that, I'm telling everybody I need a vacation from the vacation. And
Well,
it's all good.
Lance AI will take care of that for you eventually once you get it all set up.
Yeah. And
So,
then you know what's going to happen? Lance AI is going to go, I want to go on the cruise. The real Lance Luke can stay home.
okay, well, we did get a couple of other questions, but like you say, look to the benefits AI. It'll give you plenty. Um, there's a couple other questions that came in here. So the one that I have now in front of me is how many books have you written? And of the total, how many were written using AI?
Oh, that's a fair question. Okay, so as up today, I've written 85 books.
Wow.
Now that doesn't mean they're all published, right? I think I have maybe 12 published. The rest are in various stages of being released, editing stage, proofreading, tweaking the back cover, front cover, that kind of thing. So yeah, there's probably a good 75 books maybe in the pipeline in various stages. Um, how many books were written using AI? I would say 5 because uh, I wrote so many books already before AI came about. So I think I got 2 or 3 books that were the majority of the content were AI driven, and the rest were uh, maybe just AI, using AI to edit and tweak grammar and things like that. So I would say a handful of books were actually written using AI. The rest is non AI. But I think as time goes on, the number of books using AI would increase. And then for people that don't know, when I have to fill out the form to submit to Amazon, they actually ask the question. There's a series of questions. Was this book written, the majority of the book written by AI? Was AI used to edit the book? So they want to know more about what's happening with AI because there's so many books written using AI that there's a lot of junk stuff out there. So I think Amazon's trying to crack down on books. In fact, there was one book about the Lahaina fire that Amazon took off their website because they found out that it was written by AI, and some portions of the content were not correct. So it's just the nature of the beast out there.
Okay, good answer. I mean, only you would know all the books that you've published, so good answer. And the next part of it is maybe you've answered. Is that do you plan to write your own books in the future without using AI?
Yeah, the majority of the books that I'm going to publish are not uh, using AI because, as I mentioned before, they're transcripts from our webinars that are not AI. I mean, we go back to I would say, caveman days, like 3 years ago, when uh, before AI came about, we were doing everything from scratch, creating our content and all that. It was a lot of work, and it took me 20 hours to create a 1 hour webinar, right? And so we're still doing that, but we're using AI to help us. So it's kind of streamlined, but um, because I'm publishing books now that I gave webinars like 3 years ago, so we're not using AI for those. So I still got a bunch in the pipeline that are non-AI, but I think as time goes on, I'll be using AI more and more.
Oh, good. And I think our perspective on AI publishing is in the title. we're really recommending to tell your story in a book, not, I mean, you can make fantasy stories if you want, but I think it's really using it to publish your story and get your legacy information out there. So
Well,
good.
you hit it right on the nail on the head, because the whole reason for telling your story and why we're doing this is for small business owners to use your story as a marketing vehicle to help promote your business. So that's the whole idea. I mean, I my first book was to do that. I wanted to get the word out to let people know how I do business. That it's not only about the money; it's about helping people. Truly wanting to help people and not worry about the money. And I wanted to get that message across as a small business owner. And it wasn't about trying to sell books and make money from selling the book, right? It was about using the book as an expanded business card or company brochure, so to speak. So that was a whole concept, and that concept has worked for me, and I'm pretty sure it can work for other people because I've seen it work for other people. In fact, I'm going to Hollywood in September to network with um, several hundred best-selling authors and uh, to learn more about what's happening in the world of writing and media and all that. And um, I always have fun doing that because it's interesting when you tell, and the people that attend are from all over the world. Some, I think most of them are from the US, but you got some from all over the parts of the world, from Germany, Italy, France, China. And it's the funniest thing when people know that you're from Hawaii, all of a sudden, like, you're the big celebrity, right? And they want to come and meet you and talk to you and all that. So I still like wonder about that, but I I I, I kind of have fun, with that too. So yeah, it's a good thing.
Very good. Yep. I agree with you, Lance. Yeah. So I have let's see, I have one more question that's come through here. It was about the presentation and says you mentioned AI driven personalized reader experiences. Can you elaborate on how this works and what benefits it brings to both readers and authors?
Well, first, before you even write your book, you want to know who your target audience is. If you're going to just write uh, a mystery book or some kind of cookbook or whatever, you kind of know who your target audience is already, right? But you're gonna do research. Use AI to do your research for you instead of hiring a company to do the marketing research for you. Use AI to do that, and within minutes you can obtain the information, and then from there use AI to help you. Maybe set uh, the information, the guidelines from the beginning. Like, I'm going to be writing a book strictly to uh, people who surf, right? And you could expand it, like people who surf big waves, 65 feet and higher, right? So already you're going to set the tone, the parameters of how you're going to use AI and direct. So the contents of the whole book it will be kept in mind, that that's who your target audience is. So you're not writing the book just in general for any old Joe Blow, right? You're writing specifically, and the more specialized your target audience is, the smaller your audience is to buy your book, right? So You got to keep that in mind. So if you're writing the book for the sake of writing it and to get the information out, then that's one thing. But if your intention is to sell it, you really gotta, you know, if it's too specialized, you may end up not selling much, right? Or you may think about the compilation book with somebody else, or maybe that's going to be one of a few chapters in the book, and then the rest is going to be surfing in general or something like that, right? Or if you're gonna write the book just on big wave surfing, then the idea would be, why don't you go and contact these big wave surfers and interview them and ask them, oh, I want to interview you because I want to feature you in a book. I want to put your picture in and give you a little story about you and all that. And someone will say, yeah, yeah, I'm game. And someone will say, no, because I'm going to write my own book, right? So you just trial and error and see what happens. I got right now, I'm in contact with some business owners in Hawaii who are interested in doing a compilation business book. So I haven't gotten enough business owners yet, but then I haven't formally announced that's what I'm doing. I've just been saying, hey, you know, I've got this book idea that I'm thinking of, construction experts in Hawaii. Would you be interested in? And so far, I've got 5 people that said, yeah, you know, sign me up, without even me telling them what the cost is going to be or anything. So, I mean, that's a start, right? So you can do anything, any kind of book, compilation book with any kind of business. So, all right. So I think we've kind of went through the whole deal today. You got any last comments or anything, Martin?
No, good session today. And I welcome people to take advantage of AI and use it for publishing or other things. It's unlimited what you can do. It's just a matter of your imagination.
Yeah, good. So, on behalf of Martin Pea, myself, Lance Luke, we thank you for joining our webinar. We're going to hopefully see you next month on another webinar on a similar topic. And we're going to sign off and visit our website, askmarketingexperts.now.site. And good luck and keep safe. Aloha.
Aloha.
Martin, I can't find my stop recording.
I can stop them. Yeah.
Oh, I think I have it.